People, I'm afraid, have a very grand idea of the value of their opinion. And what we need to do is to target our opinions and our expectations and our wishes and our strategies, rather than having these bold slogan-based grand designs, and anybody who doesn't buy into the particular slogan is accused of throwing out the baby with the bathwater. And it's very, very disturbing. It's disturbing to hear people chanting things like "from the river to the sea" without fully recognizing the origins of that. It's very difficult. It's very disturbing, I think, to hear people bandying the idea that if you don't call for a ceasefire, you oppose peace. It's rather like Suella Braverman saying that if you aren't going to back her Rwanda plan, you don't want to stop the boats, or you are encouraging people smugglers. This is it's simply fallacious and extremely worrying. And so the story that two councillors, Giles and Jamal Chohan, have been caught sending intimidating letters threatening to publish anybody who doesn't call for a ceasefire in Gaza is simply shocking. And that this letter goes on and accuses people of weaponizing antisemitism is even more shocking. These councillors deserve to be stripped of their responsibility because they have clearly acted in an irresponsible way. It is, bad enough that we expect that we allow, or indeed foster a form of education that lacks detail, and it's that which leads to this sort of sloganizing. It's bad enough that we allow people to bang on the dispatch box in the House of Commons and scream things like "invader" from the dispatch box in the sure knowledge that they are immune from prosecution. But it is another thing when councillors who have a responsibility, who are accountable to the people who have elected them, can use their position to intimidate and threaten other people, particularly in the aftermath of the death of Joe Cox, of David Amis, and the threats recently to councillors and politicians in their own homes who don't espouse the slogans that people are using. I am myself appalled by the huge number of people in Parliament who preferred to duck the issue of the ceasefire rather than stand up and be counted. But if standing up and being counted involves receiving letters of abuse from other councillors or other politicians, then I think that is wrong. Now, I think there's no reason why we shouldn't be sending letters demanding greater protection against anti-Semitism, demanding greater support for the Palestinians. I see no reason why that shouldn't be possible. Indeed, I would encourage that. Write to your MPs, write to your councillors, and ask them why they're not espousing this cause or that cause. In a way, it doesn't matter. That is part of our responsibility as individuals. But councillors already have a platform, and they should be using that platform rather than abusing that platform. And abusing that platform to demand a sloganed response is extraordinary. To demand a discussion is reasonable and proper. That's what a councillor is there for, to demand discussion, to enter into correspondence. But to demand that you subscribe to a particular slogan and particularly when that slogan is not very clearly informed. Anybody who's not calling for peace, I think, there's a good reason then to expect that person to explain themselves. But not calling for a ceasefire, no. Even my concerns that people are nimby pimby and the sort of beneath contempt for not voting. Even at that point, I still think letters from councillors is intimidating and ultimately wrong.